Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. It is Motivation Monday and we are talking about overthinking. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay, so if you are about to embark on trying to look into becoming a medical coder and you're looking at all the different schools and the programs that are out there, or if you are in school and you are learning medical terminology and anatomy and pathophysiology, and it's just becoming overwhelming that you're like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Or maybe you are thinking about, how am I going to get my first job? And you're still in school. Or maybe, how am I going to pass this exam if I don't feel like I feel confident in my coding? Today's message is for you. Oftentimes when we start to overthink, we don't even realize that we're doing it, and we're all guilty of it. The thing about overthinking is the ability to be able to get control of your thoughts. You know, they say you can't outwork a bad diet, right? So whatever we're putting into our bodies is what our bodies are going to react to, right? So if we're not eating very healthy, we are not going to feel healthy, and so on and so forth. It's the same thing with overthinking and self-destructive thoughts, right? When we start having these, it becomes a snowball effect, and it is very easy for us to get discouraged on our dreams and to get discouraged when it comes to our goals. The thing about it is, when you start to feel yourself having those overwhelming and racing and overthinking thoughts, you have to stop. You literally have to tell yourself, I gotta stop. I have to look at what is right in front of me. Because often when we're having these thoughts, it's because we're starting to see too far into the future. A lot of times people will write me and say, Blue, I just started in school and I don't feel like I'm smart enough to do this. Already, you're starting to overthink because you're looking at everything that you have to learn, right? You have to learn about medical terminology and anatomy and pathophysiology. Then you got to learn about medical law and ethics. And then you got to learn about the coding. And it just seems like it's so much. Start with the first thing that you got to learn, medical terminology or anatomy and pathophysiology, whichever one they're going to teach you first. Hopefully, your program will teach you one or the other first. I've heard of some weird scenarios where they're just teaching things all over the place. So hopefully you're in a really good program to begin with, all right? But when you start to have those overwhelming thoughts, stop yourself and think about what lesson are you going to learn first. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Don't even think about trying to find a job. Can you find a job? Everybody's saying that you can't find. No. Medical terminology first. Anatomy, pathophysiology next, or vice versa. And then you worry about the next steps. Because when you have to worry about what is immediately in front of you, it is going to be a lot more easier for you to digest this information. Because then you're not thinking and you're not putting your thought process towards all this other stuff. Because when you start doing that, that's sapping away that energy that you have. And we as adults, we know that going back to school is a difficult thing to ask. It's not impossible, but it is quite difficult because we have responsibilities. It's not like when we're kids, right? And that is your only job when you are a kid, is to be in school. To be in school, learn so that you can, when you graduate, you can get a good job, you know, or you can go to school and get a good job. The thing about being an adult and learning is we have to stop and remember, how do we best learn? Or we have to discover those ways that we best learn so that we can learn what is immediately in front of us. And then when we're done learning that, we can take the next step. And if you have to go back and review, that is totally fine. You have all of the time that you're in school till you get to the time that you're going to study to take your exam, to be studying for the exam. That's basically what your whole time in school is to prepare you for that final certification exam. And so that way you can just start from there. But start at one step at a time. Don't get overwhelmed and start thinking about all these other things, about jobs and all this other stuff. And if people are telling you this, like the other students, or maybe it's the instructor, well, hey, once you get this certification, go for this other one and go for this other specialty credential because it's going to help you make more money. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. having multiple credentials is not going to give you more money, especially when you're brand new. Now, if you have experience and you are going to get a specialty credential that you know is going to enhance your name, that is something completely different. But when you are brand new, all these job listings are asking you to have one credential. You don't need a billing credential. You don't need risk adjustment. You don't need all this other stuff. You just need to worry about getting your certification first. Get one. Because when you start adding on these other credentials, you're going to have to add on more continuing education units. And you want to talk about stress. If you don't have a job yet, it's going to get stressful quick. So, that in mind, you want to start with just one. Make things easy for yourself. Don't start loading your plate up. Oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. Take one step at a time. Find your job first. Decide if you like medical coding, the health information field, before you start investing more money. Because a lot of times people will start off their careers in medical coding with a whole lot of debt. There is no reason for people to get into a whole lot of debt before they get into the field. There's programs out there that if you are struggling financially, that can help you pay for these kinds of schools and things like that. I went through the WIOA. Well, at the time it was the WIA program. But now it's the WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And they paid for me to go to school, to be trained to become a medical coder. So there is options out there. You just have to look. I have done plenty of videos talking about how to get into medical coding debt-free. So if that is something that is weighing on your mind and you're thinking about getting into the medical coding field, but you're not sure because it's going to be so expensive, it's the cost of a car. So I've seen some programs for a certification at $20,000 or $30,000. That's a lot of money. So when you start looking at investing that kind of money, you want to make sure that you're going to get your money's worth. So if you don't have it, look for other places that will help you to pay for it, because there is money out there. And when you are doing that, it's going to be better for you, okay? But the thing that I'm telling you guys is when you start to focus on learning, because that is your job when you're in school, is to learn medical terminology, anatomy, and pathophysiology, and all the things they're going to teach you in medical coding school, or if you're studying on your own, right? Your job is to learn all of that. Absorb as much of it as you possibly can. If you are struggling, don't struggle in silence. Speak up. Talk to your instructor. Try to find a mentor in the association that you're going to be sitting for the credential with, right? Either AAPC or AHIMA. Try to find a mentor so that way somebody can try to break things down for you. I've been on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as Medical Coding with Bleu. And a lot of times I will see people on there asking for mentors, and they have plenty of people who respond that they are willing to become a mentor for them. So there are people out there that are willing to volunteer their time. If you need a tutor, if you need somebody to explain things to you, there's tons of tutors on LinkedIn as well. And I am a tutor myself. My rates are in the description box below. So there is help out there, guys. It's not something that you're going to have to go at alone. Stop listening to negative people. If you are overthinking, or you have that habit of overthinking, and then you start getting around negative people, like in these Facebook medical coding groups, and yes, I know, it seems like it's a campaign for me to talk about these Facebook medical coding groups, but you would not believe how many letters I get every week from people talking about these Facebook medical coding groups. That's why I'm telling you, and I'll tell anybody that'll listen, when you are in school or when you are out looking for a job, you need to go to reliable resources for information. Either the place that you're applying, or you need to look at the association websites, that kind of thing. You don't need to be going to Facebook medical coding groups. You don't need to be talking to other students because they're not even in the field yet. You need to talk to veterans who know and who are going to give you both sides of the coin, right? The good and the bad. That's what I do. I tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because to me, I think that when you make an informed decision, I think that it makes things much more better, right? And that is what I always strive to have on my channel, is honesty, being upfront, and just letting you guys know this is the truth. I don't have a dog in the fight. If you get into medical coding or if you don't get into medical coding, I'm not selling anything to you. I'm just giving you the information from me as a veteran coder, who I really love the field. But I will tell you that it's not for everyone. So that's why I tell you guys all the things that are involved in it. If you want to become a high caliber medical coder, that's why I tell you guys. Because I am high caliber. I know that. And because I really love what I do. I enjoy it every day. But in order for you to get into a field that you really love, if you think that you're going to really love this, don't allow overthinking to rob you. Because you know what overthinking is? It's a thief and a liar. That's exactly what overthinking is. A thief and a liar. If you believe it, it will lie to you. Oh, you're not smart enough. You can't do this. You can do anything that you want to do. Did you know that? If no one's told you that, I'm telling you now. Some advice from a friend you've never met. You can do anything that you set your mind to. If you want to do something, there is nothing and nobody that can stop you. But you have to get into that good mind space, and you have to be positive about what you're doing. And if your goal is to make a better life for yourself or your family, then that is what you're going to do. And you're not going to let anything or anybody stop you. You're not going to let your nerves get the best of you. And when you start to feel that overwhelming, bubbling feeling of, oh, can I do this? Can I do this? That's when you got to tell yourself, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and I'm going to do what's right in front of me. And I'm going to take things one day at a time. I'm not going to try to look far off into the future. I'm not going to, and it's nothing wrong with having a plan, right? But when you have, because when you have a plan, you have a direction, you know where you're going. But when you can follow what you want to do by taking one step at a time, it's going to make that goal much more manageable. It's not going to seem like it's so far off, right? So, that's what I want you guys to think about. The second you start overthinking, stop. This is a lot. In this field of medical coding is plenty. Trust me. It is plenty all by itself. It is a lifelong learning process. It doesn't stop when you get out of school. It doesn't stop when you get your certification. It's going to continue. So because of this, you have to prepare yourself, because this is a marathon. It is not a sprint. No matter how quickly you get through a program, no matter how short your training is, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And that's going to be your entire career. It's learning and studying and trying to get yourself to get practice and get better at things. Okay? There's plenty of resources out there that are free to help you with practice. There's justcoding.com if you're looking for a free subscription. They have a free subscription, and they do offer coding quizzes, 5-question coding quizzes. And it will let you know if you got the answer wrong. And, you know, so that way you can practice with those. And it's free. They have a paid subscription and they have a free subscription. I always recommend the free. And this is not an ad for Just Coding. I just really like them. And I like the fact that they are willing to help coders. And it's a free resource from a very good place. And it's not just, oh, we're making it up.com, you know. You know, it is what, you know, is part of the industry and part of, you know, doing the practice, and they have great articles and things like that. So lots of really good information out there, but you got to be looking for it, and looking for it from reputable places. Okay. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But guys, just know that when you have your goals, you're going to have times where you're going to feel that overthinking feeling, because it's only natural. What if I don't make it? What if I can't do it? Yes, you can. There's nothing, unless it's written somewhere, right? Unless it is written somewhere, which I highly doubt, that you cannot do something. Okay? You can do anything you set your mind to. And if you want to do it, you can do it. And a lot of people have asked me, Blue, I have a disability. It doesn't stop people from becoming medical coders. They do it all the time. And I've known plenty of people who have overcome a lot of obstacles just to become a medical coder, and they're thriving today because this is what they're doing. So if you think that, oh, I can't do it because of this, I can't do it because of that, if you are going to be your own worst critic, that's what you're always going to be. And who is going to support you then? Because you have to be able to rely on yourself. There's going to be times in your career where you are going to be audited and then you're going to start overthinking everything that you're doing because somebody's telling you that you got something wrong. So you're going to start overthinking that. But if you can't cut yourself a break, and if you don't learn those coping skills now while you're in school or while you're in the job seeking process, if you can't get those coping skills now, you're in big trouble, because those coping skills is what's going to help you. When you have that feeling, that's when you have to say, no, I'm going to concentrate on what is in front of me. And if it's something like getting audits and, you know, you're getting something wrong, then you know what to study. You know exactly what to study, right? So think about those things. Everything has a positive to it. I saw this meme the other day. It says, when you fail something, you're not starting from nothing. You're starting with experience, right? When you fail. And it's true, because you know, and you know what to expect. So that can also help you when you start to overthink, is that if anything happens, you can always try again. And when you try again, you're starting from experience. You're not starting from ground zero. You know, and you've been through the process before. So don't ever give up on your dreams, and don't ever think that you can't do something because you're overthinking. Stop. Get yourself in the right mind space. Get into that fact that, yes, I can. And I've said this before in a few videos ago, and I've been saying it a lot more lately, because a lot of people are feeling defeated. I don't know. I think it's like a season. Maybe there's like new people getting into the field, or they're just now getting into school. Don't feel defeated, guys. And especially when it's right in the beginning, when you're about to start school, that is like the worst time. It's new. You need time to learn it. When you stop yourself, when you start to overthink and think of all these things, and you got to bring it back in, say, whoa, time out. Stop. Concentrate on what is in front of you. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about all those other things. Concentrate on what you got. Master that, then keep going. Understand it enough just to get by. You don't have to know all the details, just enough to get by. And that way, you can keep going from there. Your confidence will build. But it's all about stopping that overthinking and stopping any negative, self-destructive thoughts before they get started. Okay, keep yourself in that right mind space. Get disciplined. Get on a schedule, so that way you know, hey, we are in school time. We're in school mode. We got to do this. That's all I got to say. But guys, good luck. You're going to do great. Stick with it. If you hear anything that I'm telling you, don't overthink and stick with it. Keep going. Whatever you're doing, keep going. If you did not so good, you know what to study, right? And that's the important thing. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I hope you've hit that subscribe button. Please, guys, like this. Share this if it helped you, because it does help me. It does help my channel. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, so that way they can push this out to more people. So, and that way it'll help others, you know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you're a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider, or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye.